My name is Robert Sheldon. My relationship to Don Sheldon is he was my father. My father died just before my 4th birthday, but I amazingly do have memories, which is a genetic thing, I really believe. He had memories to being very young himself. My father shared, and our mother made certain that all of us kiddos knew this growing up, that his primary goal in departing from Wyoming at the ripe age of 16, he graduated high school, got that complete, but he wanted to seek a more pleasurable life of trapping, mining, and guiding. And he reported that it not only was more pleasurable, but heck of a lot easier than farming in southern Wyoming. He had a difficult early life. One of the reasons why you would leave somewhere not knowing anyone where you're going, thousands of miles away. Both of his parents died at a young age. And actually, that's not unlike my story, me and my siblings. And if you go back a couple of generations, that's unfortunately a reoccurring theme. But in any event, he had had enough of farming in southern Wyoming and thought it would be more delightful and pleasurable to be up here, and he did report that that was the case. Father always used to refer to Talkeetna as the banana belt of Alaska. We're just out of the maritime influence, so in the summer we're warmer than being right on the coast, and that in fact also creates some wonderful weather opportunities there, and that's why he did base out of Talkeetna specifically as a pilot. It was a little more predictable, as well as it was, the banana belt. My father was an extremely selfless person in many regards. That really began in World War II. His entire family would speak of it, as would many. Actually, at his passing, the federal government issued proclamations. It was on CBS Evening News when he passed away. The then governor of Alaska, the very beloved Jay Hammond, had very kind words to say, and the 9th Alaska Legislature did as well. So some of the aircraft that my father flew, he had 3 major manufacturers that he really appreciated: Aeroncas, Pipers, and Cessnas. And something that not many people knew back then, and definitely don't know now, but he actually was rated as an aircraft inspector, an AI. My father wore out 48 aircraft, but amazingly, throughout all of those, probably in excess of 1 million miles of flying, and we're talking close to probably at least 30,000, 35,000 hours. I have some of the logbooks, but there's some missing blanks in there. But tremendous amount of time in. He never put anyone in the hospital, and he definitely never killed anyone. And that's quite an amazing feat with the type of short hop flying that he was doing so much of, especially up on Denali, when he had pioneered a lot of the methods that are still in use today for glacier landings, as well as picking out your spots and being careful about all of the challenges that are commensurate with a mountain that makes its own weather. My favorite memory of my father, I could have only been 3. I doubt I have the memory of my oldest son going all the way back to when he was 2. But when I was 3, I clearly remember taking off from the Talkeetna village strip. We still have the family home there, just off the village strip. We call it the Yellow House. I remember taking off into cotton candy clouds towards the south, which you definitely don't want to fly into. These were building cumulonimbus, but I remember a beautiful, glorious, long, lighted afternoon that you get in the later summer, sitting in his lap, the smell of avgas that we all know, and this was a Super Cub that we were in. And at that point, he had 2. There was a PA-18 and I believe it was a PA-12, and I don't know which one. I just don't have that granularity being a 3-year-old. But I remember taking off into those cotton candy clouds with just these golden hue wrapped around them, and just the awe of it all, of watching the village strip drop away below us, and the greenness of the trees lining it, juxtaposed against those white and golden tinged clouds, and that is my favorite memory. I fortunately have a few others that are a little more private than that, but in any event, that by far is something I hold dear when I think of my father.
It is with great honor that we induct Don Sheldon as the recipient of the Explorer and Pathfinder Award to the Alaska Aviation Museum's Hall of Fame.